I'm getting ready to call up Monica Marrow. Now, let me tell you about Monica. She and I won Volunteer of the Year of Maui, Volunteer of the Year for Maui, different organizations. And I was scrolling through seeing who won. And I saw her face and I was like, oh, she's so beautiful. And then a couple of people said, you need to meet Monica Morrow. I'm like, okay, I'll meet her one day. So she was coming to a place where I was, and we saw each other. And we just looked. It's like that knowing that you have, right? That you've been connected to somebody for life, and they're getting ready to bring something deep and wonderful to your life. That happens when your heart is open, right? That happens when your heart is open. When you're doing the healing work, you don't have to protect yourself. So she might as well be my blood sister. She is the CEO and founder of a nonprofit called What Makes You Feel Beautiful. And I just want to throw this in, is that she is doing the important work on the front lines with young girls and women, and she'll probably talk a little bit about that. And I also want to say, even during the fires, her organization, I'm a volunteer there, as are some of the many people in here now. And we're on the front lines. And Monica's thing was, there was a lot of care going on. When I say money going on and people being taken care of, but it was in a lot of big places where women and children were already almost traumatized to go into that environment. So she came up with, let's meet them where they are. Let's meet them away and give them Walmart gift cards and different gift cards, $200, so they can go get what they need. I think that goes back to even what Nicole was saying, right? It's just to say, because we think people need one thing, and sometimes they need something completely different. And her organization we were on the front line meeting with people up at the hotels, telling when they wanted to tell their story, right? Not further traumatizing them, asking details. But this woman was on the front line handling this, handling that, and raising 2 goats. Yep, she got a goat. She got goats. She got goats. But she is such a love in my life. We support each other in what we do. I'm going to bring her up now. She is amazing in every way. And I want to also say that I don't know if any of you got to see the Miss Hawaii USA pageant. Savannah is her spokesperson and program director of FLY, First Love Yourself. And she won first runner up. She was almost Miss, but almost don't work. She got there, and at 28 last year that she could do it, and amazing. So we thank you for all the work that you do, how you love us and support our communities, and do it from such a place of love. And Monica was at my first workshop. She and I sat down and did an Oprah type thing. And she trusts me. She literally, those of you, how many of you were here? We got people over there. She trusts me with her life. And we went in, and she just opened up her whole story. And it made such an impact on other people that heard it. I love you dearly. I'm going to give you this and stop talking.
Thank you. I love you. Thank you, Kailani. Today I'm going to talk to you about the power of our conditioning, the story that we didn't know that we were living. So it's conditioned beliefs, learned behaviors, and our conditioned responses. Do you have our slides? Oh, thank you. So throughout my talk today, I'm going to ask you just to engage with me by closing your eyes a couple of times while you ponder questions, and then just allow whatever comes to your mind first to be the answer, and just be okay with that, and then you can revisit it later. So we're going to start off with a question. So take a deep breath and close your eyes, and think about, have you ever stopped to consider why you think or act a a certain way. Okay, you can open your eyes. We often grow up believing that our upbringing has minimal effect on who we are today. But the truth is that our beliefs, our learned behaviors, and our conditioned responses, they literally shape our story more than we realize. Actually, by adulthood, most of us have developed patterns in the way that we respond in situations and to situations and our feelings. But when you think about it, like, where did we get these patterns from? Where did they come from? They often are the same exact patterns and beliefs and responses as those who raised us, and not just our parents. It's grandparents, it's older siblings, it's teachers, it's anyone who had an influence over your life when you were a child, right? So let me give you an example. If an emergency happened right now, and we all, a 911, and we all had to leave this building, you might respond really calm, saying, there's an exit, okay, everybody come out. You might freeze, and someone has to come and help you and lead you out. Someone else might just have a panic attack. And so when you think about why that is, it's because we all have learned different ways to respond, and that's based on our individual experiences. I'm going to tell you a story about a girl named Nina. I'm going to read this. And so just consider Nina. Nina grew up, and she noticed that her mother walked 2 steps behind her father, and also he made decisions for her. She watched her mother be disciplined in a very similar way, like a child. Though she was never told or taught to do the same, Nina, she developed this behavior, and she believed that it was normal for women to do this. So when Nina grew up, she found herself in a toxic relationship. Her partner was controlling, always insisting on making decisions for her. And much like her father, she often found herself in a situation where she was walking behind him, although she wasn't told to do those things. But she felt like it was the natural order of being, natural order of things. Over time, with help, therapy, she recognized that this was a sign of disrespect, not respect. And also that it was a generational pattern that she had thought as an adult that she saw also in her grandmother. So we're talking about things that we see but aren't told to us, that we learn through watching. And sometimes those are tricky. So she began to surround herself with people like this who pointed out to her her self-worth and also helped her to realize that love does not mean that you have to do everything someone else wants you to do. And it doesn't mean giving up your own choices either. So by challenging these conditioned beliefs, she began to build her self-esteem. Nina broke what was a long generational cycle in her family. So she no longer gravitated toward relationships that were domineering. She learned her self-worth and her self-value, and she learned to be in relationships that celebrated who she is, and also with mutual respect and equality. And that's quite a journey, but we all can break our cycles. But what is the power of the conditioning? Just like how strong is it? Like, how ingrained are these habits in our life? So one of my favorite studies is the Quinn and Wood study, and it was done in 2005 at the University of Southern California. And in this study, it revealed that 45% of the day, all of us pretty much, are on autopilot. We are operating in autopilot mode for pretty much more than half of the day. And what that means is that the part of our brain that's responsible for critical thinking, decision making, problem solving shuts down. Well, not completely, but you might as well say completely. It's not fully active, right? So almost half of the day, while we're on autopilot, what we're doing is we're repeating the same actions, same behaviors, and thoughts because we are triggered by something in our environment. So what's the key? Wake up. Get off of autopilot. But how do you do that? It's autopilot. How do you do it? Awareness is what we've all been talking about today. Awareness, reflection. You have to become aware of the conditioning so that you can change it. But while you're on autopilot, you don't even know it's happening. So I want you to take a moment and think. So close your eyes one time, take a deep breath and close your eyes. And I want you to ask yourself this question. Do you have any patterns that you picked up along the way? Just that simple question. It's important to be able to identify these patterns. You may open your eyes. So I'll give you another example. What if you grew up watching your parents come home every single day from a job that they hate and complain about it? Now you're an adult and you find yourself coming home complaining about a job that you hate. Would you change it? Would you look for solutions? Probably not. Because you've been conditioned to think that that's normal. And you probably don't even realize you're doing it. Awareness and reflection. I'm so sorry, I haven't told you to change any slides. Oh my God. Okay, past two slides. So reflection is key to unmasking these conditioned behaviors and self-beliefs. By reflecting on how much we do and think that didn't originate as our own idea, okay? Then you can let go of behaviors and thoughts that don't serve you. So this is the order of doing that. Once you do that, then you're freed up to embrace a new mental state of being. But there's another side to conditioning, and it's called learned helplessness. And so those of you who are here, who was at the last Soul Dope workshop, you got to hear my story. And you all know who heard it, it was full of trauma from the age of 4 to 14, and then it took on a whole nother role after that. And so I'm a person who had a boatload of learned helplessness within me. And what is learned helplessness? It's when people are exposed repeatedly to a negative situation that they felt they had no control over. They developed learned helplessness. So how does this show up in our adult life? It's when we feel stuck in situations that we think we can't change. And because of that, we miss opportunities, even the ones that are right in front of our face. We don't see them. It also shows up when you're in that job that you hate and you feel stuck and that you can't get out of it. It shows up when you're in a toxic relationship and you know that it's wrong, but something about it feels like home. But the good news is, next 2 slides. Sorry. The good news is we are not bound by our conditioning. Yes. It's actually a false identity. It's not who you are. So what's the key to breaking free? Is to start with awareness, to recognize these patterns, to look at them, and then to challenge them. When you stop and you get off autopilot and you recognize what you're thinking and how you're behaving, you break that pattern in your brain, that wave pattern, and it stops it and it interrupts it. And when you do that, it's never the same. Once you get this information in you, you will never think the same. You will think, where did that come from? Whose is that? Oh, grandma used to do that. Not me. I don't, that's not how I feel. So challenge those patterns. Be aware of them. And when you do that, you can introduce new experiences and show your mind that there's another way of being. It takes time, effort, and patience. And that's when you have to be really loving and kind to yourself. But that programming of 45%, you have the power to change that behavior. And when you do, you can turn it into intentional, empowering actions. So let's reflect, and I'm going to ask you 4 questions. So close your eyes and take a deep breath. And I'm going to move through the questions quickly because I don't want you to think about it too long. I want the first thing to pop into your mind for you to settle on that, and then later to think about these questions. So close your eyes and take a deep breath, and I'm going to move through the questions quickly. How have I been conditioned to perceive myself? Are my views on relationships formed by what I observed growing up? Do my career decisions mimic those who I grew up around? And where did my default coping strategies of life's ups and downs come from? You may open your eyes. Identify areas where conditioning might be holding you back in life, because those are the ones you're looking at. There's all type of conditioning, and there's some conditionings that are good. We're talking about the ones that hold us back. And just remember that you do have the power to change your story. And thank you for allowing me to share.
Thank you so much. Where's Leilani? I'll have you come up. Where's Leilani? I want to say thank you so much. You are the bestest. And she's going to be speaking around the world too. She's not fully up. I see the big vision, but I wanted to.
A Zoom speaker.
No, we're gonna put you in front, honey. You too beautiful to be behind Zoom. Anyone have any questions for Monica? That was so good. So many of us do have that conditioning, right? And that learned helplessness, when she said it to me the other day, I was like, oh, yeah, it's a lot of that. Anyone have a question for Monica? Well, I have one. I just wanted you to take a moment to share about what is going on currently with What Makes You Feel Beautiful in the gym program. If you could do that.
Okay, and thank you for allowing me to share that. So I work with What Makes You Feel Beautiful, and it's a female empowerment organization whose mission is to help girls and women to cultivate self-love at every age and phase of their life. Because you might be confident when you're young and then something happens in you and it just goes in waves. So how to cultivate that throughout your life is our mission. And I thought we do have the FLY program, First Love Yourself, and it's teaching girls to take care of themselves, love themselves, so that you can give that back out to your community and your family and the world. And we have a new program that I've been working on for a little over a year, and it finally has landed. And thank you, Kailani, because she is a person who encourages me to keep going and to keep doing when I feel like I can't, so thank you. And I'm glad I kept going with this program. I decided it had two names. It was Mana Maui Girls, and Lehua, who's Hawaiian, she said something to me that made me think that wasn't the right name to use. So I changed it to Maui Gems, Girls Empowerment Movement. And, and it's an internship. So this summer, we're gonna have 20 girls do an internship with 20 local business women, and we just received a $10,000 grant to do so. And so the girls will receive a stipend for investing in their own futures. And that's what we're most proud about.
We got a picture of Lay on. Come on up here, beautiful Leilani. Look at Leilani. Isn't she beautiful? Leilani helped with passing out flyers and social media and getting the word out. So we just appreciate you, too. We're going to let you help Monica, or unless you want me to do it. She got it. Okay. Yeah. Yeah. We let this. Got to let it go. Let it go. Let's give Monica a hand. We love you so much. Yes. Yes? Okay, come on. You need a mic. We can't hear you back there. You in Austin only me. Okay, you got to talk loud.
Yeah, let me put the Barry White on.
Put it on.
I just want to say, like, my band has had the privilege of playing a benefit for Monica, and the things they do, it's just amazing.
Yes.
And I just love this woman. So
Yes.
I just want to say that.
Yes. Yes. Thank you for that. Yes, so if any of you want to be involved, if you're business women that you want to take a young girl under your wing and show her how it's done, speak with Monica if you want to support the organization, however you want to show up. We love her, and she's doing the work, right? She's doing the work.
What's the age group?
Age group is 13 to 18, is that correct? And she also helps women in other situations, but she's focusing on the young girls, and that's so important, right? Because if we can get to them with the answers and teaching them how to love themselves, a lot of the trauma they won't experience in their lives based on those things that have gone on. All right.